What does take place is a fun match that JBL and I are going to watch back later this week at adfreeshows.com on the exact anniversary, June 27th. So this Thursday, I'm going to be watching it with your pal JBL. And this is when he wins the WWE title from Eddie Guerrero in a bull rope match. Now, I mentioned a minute ago, it's a Texas bull rope match. So the rules are there's no pinfalls, there's no submissions. You got to touch all four corners. And the first time I remember seeing that as a kid is with Stan Hansen and Lex Luger in WCW. I loved it back then, and I still love it here. And I know that it was made famous with Dusty Rhodes and others. What can you tell
Wahoo McDaniel.
All right. You ain't got to get hot about it.
Well, I'm hot about it.
All right, let's hear about it.
Well, Wahoo had the Indian strap match.
Right.
And the idea behind it was you could beat your opponent with that Indian strap, by God, and when that rawhide leather got wet and it came across your skin from swinging it as hard as you can, and sweat flies, and it's going to cut right through you like a knife. And then you beat your opponent so bad that the only way to win this match is to drag your opponent around and touch each of the four corners in succession to win that match. But in order to do that, you have to have your opponent beat so badly that you're able to do that, because if they stop you in the middle, then it starts all over again. So that was the foundation of the strap match, which Dusty then used for the bull rope match, for chain matches and things of that nature. It was a way to beat your opponent without having to beat them and pin them. So we're looking for a gimmick match, for John, and wanted to do the bull rope match, which I loved, because Big Texan. Okay, man, let's do this bull rope match. This can be your match. And I had a finish that I stole that had never taken place, and it was essentially the finish to the Harley Race Wahoo McDaniel match that broke down, and the whole NWA getting in an uproar and all this stuff. But the idea was that John is pulling Eddie around and hits the third turnbuckle, and he's going to reach. He's trying to get to that last buckle, and Eddie stops him, and Eddie's got him stopped, by God, and everything. And the referee is at that fourth buckle, and he's looking for whoever's going to touch it, get to that last buckle and touch that last buckle. And John, turns his back to the referee, reaches in his trunks and pulls out like a little razor cutter and cuts the rope, and the rope breaks free, and John touches the last turnbuckle. Now, the one flaw to this, okay, was that the Wahoo finish with Harley Race was going to be, it was Wahoo's match, the babyface, and Harley, the heel, cuts the rawhide strap. Harley takes the strap around and goes, cheap rawhide. Wahoo takes his strap and goes, clean cut. This would never break. In this, it was just a cheating JBL. Well, I did what I had to do. I can't help it. The rope broke. And Eddie going, and you go back and you actually see it in the replay. But the fact is he did touch the fourth turnbuckle, and he did win. Very controversial finish. That is the way that the match was sold in the first place. It was sold in this way for this finish, because I always wanted to do this finish. And it was bought with that sale. And went into it all along. Everybody had the same finish in mind. That was the match. That was the finish. And we get there that day, and Vince says, what are you guys doing in the and John, bless his heart, wanted to have lights on the ring so they would light up each time you touched them. Because that's how Otto Vons did it in Germany. I never saw that. I didn't like that. I didn't get that, but we did it. Vince says, what are you guys doing for a finish? Says, we're doing the finish we talked about. Well, what's that again? I said, boom, they go and they hit the corner. John takes the cutter out, cuts the rope, touches the fourth corner. damn, Bruce, that sucks. You can't just tie him up and pin him. So that's not how you win. You got to touch all four corners. What? I said, yes, you got to touch all four corners. We've done promos about this. I've got to beat you so bad that I'm going to be able to drag you around the ring and touch all four corners. I don't have to pin you. I don't have to make you submit. I'm going to drag you, Makes no sense. How do these things normally work? So that's how they work. You ever seen a bull rope match?
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of them. It's you could do either way. Dusty did them with a finish, and I said, but we also did it where we drug people around the ring. God damn, I get it. Get some other ideas for a finish. So I go talk to Eddie and talk to John, and they come back with something. Vince hated that and says, call Dusty. Get a finish from him. So Vince, Dusty's in TNA. I don't give a fuck where he is. Call him. So I called Dusty. Day of. Sitting in the crowd, I called Dream. Dream was on the back of a pickup truck in Universal Studios lot. They were shooting TNA, doing something for TNA that day. And he takes a call. I said, Dream, how are you? Good, Punkin' Head. How you doing? I said, got a question for you. You got this thing, bull rope match tonight? I said, let me throw at you what we had. And I'd really appreciate it if you maybe could give me some ideas, something. I owe you one. And the other unknown part of this was Dusty had been talking to Steph about coming on to the writing team.
I see.
Okay. I didn't know that part when Vince told me call Dusty. Or actually I did. No, he did. He told me but regardless. So Dream gave me some shit, and lo and behold, we ended up doing what we did, which I don't really even fucking remember. Whether I think Eddie nailed him into the rope or so. I don't even remember. I was so frustrated because it was like the match was predicated on that finish. The returns were predicated on that finish. The match was booked because of that finish. And day of, he doesn't get it. So we're scrambling, trying to, and everybody's like, but this is what we talked, this is what we're going to do. You get it? You don't want to do it now.
My God.
So we're scrambling. They're like, you called Dusty? Doesn't he work at TNA? I go, yeah, he sure does. And again, I mean, it's such the whole day was frustrating in so many ways. To where I finally threw my arms up. I'm like, whatever we do, we do. Okay, next. And that was kind of the story of that match. And it was making John, and the thing was, I want to make John a dastardly, horrible, low life heel.
Yes.
That would stoop to anything that had never been done in a match before. Yeah, we didn't do it. So it was what it was. The match was, the bull rope match, the match itself was good. But I thought the finish was, As Pat Patterson would say,
JBL threw Guerrero off the middle rope onto the Spanish announce table. The table doesn't break. JBL then power bombs him through the table. And Wade would say the match ended with your classic bull rope match finish, as both guys touched three corners and were struggling for corner number 4 when Guerrero leaped over JBL to win, which is the classic face finish, and was announced as the winner until Angle reversed it. When fans realized that Guerrero lost the title, he got a hell of a reaction out of appreciation 3.25 stars. It's written here that here's what Dave had to say. The title change to JBL was a relatively recent decision. It was McMahon's decision as much as to get the belt off Guerrero, as there was a feeling it was time for a heel champion to be chased. While Guerrero was far more popular than JBL among most wrestlers, the reaction we got was negative to the decision. From a box office standpoint, it doesn't really matter at this point. JBL's character has been thought of strongly by McMahon from the start. Michael Hayes and Bruce Prichard were said to be strong advocates of JBL as champion. JBL was helped greatly by the controversy because putting the belt on him enabled Vince in his own mind to thumb his nose at his own detractors and win what was really an imaginary fight. It was clear from the interview on SmackDown that Vince was seeing JBL, due to the controversy, as an extension of himself, being unfairly persecuted in his mind and vowing the last laugh. The bull rope match saw both men touch 3 corners, and Guerrero apparently leap over JBL to touch the 4th, and he was announced as the winner and still champion. Angle then came out, showed an instant replay, which showed JBL's back hit the 4th corner before Guerrero's hand, and the decision was reversed. What do you make of this, that Vince thought he had been unfairly persecuted, and this was him having the last laugh? And hey, if you're going to be negative on my guy JBL, we'll show you. You think that played any part of it?
No, I think we were looking for a heel, and we felt that John was the right heel. And again, looking at the times in America and where we were and how people viewed the authority in America, and it was John was everything about that. And it was from John, being on CNBC and getting fired from that. Look, he had a lot of visibility, and it was a perfect opportunity to capitalize on all of that, his outspokenness in general. And it was an easy, probably the last, then just really the last time we were able to do that with current affairs and really get away with it, kind of in my opinion.